it's not a match, and then we shouldn't work together.
Every business owner has made a mistake like this.
I think I forgot myself.
Maybe that's a version of imposter syndrome.
It's more of a free fall.
Wow, I need to sell now.
They don't know anything that I'm speaking of.
Welcome to today's show. I'm speaking to a fellow Swede here today, Lina. She is, as you can see, living in this beautiful area. But I want you to learn about Lina. So Lina, why don't you introduce yourself to the world?
Hi, my name is Lina, and I'm 44. I'm so not used to be the one who's interviewed, I realized. That's a good point.
Wait, so how does it feel to be in the hot seat?
It's really nice, but it's also a bit uncomfortable, I think.
Yeah?
I'm not used to be the one in the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting used to it.
Okay. And why do you need to get used to it?
Because of my work, I do a lot of stage performance or read a lot in front of audiences. At the moment, I'm a teacher it's called IHM. It's a business school for Swedes. It's one of the larger ones for marketing and sales people. And I'm one of the course directors working with brand, and there's a lot of e-com for me as well there. So I'm getting used to standing in front of a lot of people on a daily basis, which I haven't been doing like that before. It's more like meetings and workshops with clients. But now I'm actually in front of a new audience where I speak all day and I teach people in another way. So that's new for me.
How do you think you show up differently between working with clients and your workshopping and then being more of a teacher and educator? Like, how are you showing up differently?
I think the difference for me is that I'm used to collaborating more in a space where I have my ideas and my ways of working, and I implement that into the customer's way of working and also environment. There's a lot of people that I need to interact with, but in the teacher seat, it's more me presenting information and knowledge to someone who's totally new in the field of work. That's new. Working with people who are so new to the business, so they don't know anything that I'm speaking of, or might know a few things. My clients know a lot, and we are adjusting their own setup and their own communication. There's a difference in their own knowledge about the industry or their way of working and what's been working for them before and what's needed to change. People at the business school they're younger, inexperienced in the field that we're teaching them. So there's a lot of difference. And for me, I'm growing as well because I re-educate myself in something that I'm so used to work with that I actually feel like, oh, I know this and I know it really well. So it's amazing to actually get a grip of the foundation of knowledge that I do have, just to package it in a new way. So that's interesting.
That is really interesting. So are you saying that, is it right to assume that you didn't see yourself in the light that you're seeing yourself in right now, and maybe that's a version of imposter syndrome?
Yes, for sure. I think I don't like the term imposter syndrome, but I know what you're talking about. I think that's a great description of where I've been for a few years.
Yeah.
I've been working in the marketing and brand industry for so long. I think I forgot myself kind of way of doing business, and it didn't fit me so well because I felt like I was displaced in a way. We were serving clients in such a high rate that we didn't deliver consistency or quality. It was more like, let's just do this shit and leave it. And that's not me. I do like to produce and deliver, but I want to do it with quality and with heart and soul. So I felt kind of displaced for a few years, and then I started my own business, and from there I grew and felt like, wow, it's amazing. I can actually work with the things that I've been working with, and I know a lot of things, and I have such a good space to actually deliver more to my clients now. And that's something that I was afraid, let go of the safe environment of an employment and a business where someone else takes charge and makes all the decisions. All the decisions weren't necessarily good for me or the clients. So
Interesting.
I think best thing now is that I actually can choose who do I work with, when do I do it, and in what way.
That's really lovely. And I think when you also start your business, we then enter the topic, which is sales. What was your relationship as you transitioned? Did you consider, oh no, now I have to sell? Or wow, I need to sell now? What went through your mind in terms of that aspect of things?
I think it kind of was easier for me in the beginning because I had a lot of business going into my own company.
Mm-hmm.
Had a lot of recommendations, and the market was it was 2019, so it was kind of easy to get clients. And then the pandemic hit, and I had a lot of really good clients for a few years.
Yeah.
But then the economy just kept, it's more of a free fall in some ways. I think 2 years ago I was reminded that I need to do a lot of sales for me as well. I can't just be a person who takes the incoming calls, which actually was amazing at the start because that was the way it was for me. Not for everyone, I know. It more grew into I need to chase my clients. I think that's about 2 years ago.
And how would you define sales?
For me, it's much more of building a relationship than just get someone to sign a document, because my delivery starts not when I pick up the first phone call. It's more my delivery starts long before I even get in touch with the client, because they might not know their own needs. So for me, sales, it's more about educating and letting people know how you can assist them and let them grow, because growth is one of my major business parts in my company. I've been working with growth strategies and e-com and brand awareness for so long that I don't see the client as someone you just pick up and put down, someone who you actually interact with for a very long time. They might not know today that they need you tomorrow, but you still need to be there today. It's more like giving nice information and tips for free, and then giving them more. Might be gated information, but it might not be gated, might be just free in a meeting like this. So sales for me, it's more of building a trust, maybe.
I like what you're saying, that it's a relationship, it's building trust, it starts way before the delivery happens. I kind of see that in every element of the business, whether you're branding, or whether you're designing, whether you're producing a marketing campaign, if you enter every one of those communications with a sales mindset, where you don't just take, but you truly do build a relationship, I think all of these things are intertwined. It's only when we're in really high corporate environments where we need one person for a particular thing who has a job description, that's when we need to differentiate like who does what. But if we are a small business up to maybe even 10, 15 in a company or in a business, the roles are so intertwined, and if we see everything in a vacuum, it's going to be much, much harder to actually get to that point where you actually make money in the business. So I really love this idea of relationship, trust, and it all starting way before the first delivery, where, after they've signed the contract, so to speak. What is the hardest part about sales?
I think the hardest part is to help people realize their actual needs, because every client I've ever had has had an idea. This is what I need. They present it to me or my colleagues, and after we actually do a lot of startup conversation, we actually do workshops as a start with every client. It doesn't matter how small or big company you do have, we always do that, because that's the way we learn about our client and their actual needs. So they have kind of a mindset when we start, and it often shifts. So I think placing the time and effort into getting the right information, not just getting information, the right information, growing in knowledge with the client in that state, because they're still new to the idea of working in my way of doing it, but they have contacted me and signed the contract to start to work with their communication and their growth. I think that's the biggest part of the process, that you actually get the right information so you don't start with the wrong things. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a really good kind of ethic and process to work with, so that you truly are able to deliver on their actual needs and not just the needs that they come with. So I really like that. I kind of want to go a little bit personal before we finish. So is
Oh,
there a story or a something that you can draw from in your past experience? You're like, oh, this was a sales gone bad, or this was a sales gone good, and here's what I learned. Is there some anecdote you'd like to share with us?
one of my biggest question marks, I still work with it, kind of what really did go wrong there. It was a client who came to me. He wanted help with the communication and to build a new strategy and also information for the website. The problem for him was that he went from being employed to working in his own company. He didn't really know what he wanted to say. So we worked a lot of hours on the communications part. And as we did that, we realized that he wanted to work in a way that wasn't aligned with the setup we made from the start. I learned that I would have gained a lot of trust from him from the beginning by just standing my ground, because we took away a lot of things from the base package that we wanted him to go with. He was like, I will get this from this person because I have a collaboration with that, and so on. So we actually stripped down the delivery from our side, which I know I shouldn't have done. But I did it, and I learned that if the client doesn't want the package we offer, it's not the right client or the right timing. I know what I need to deliver and deliver right to each client, and I need to say no a little bit more than I usually do. So that's one of the biggest learnings for me, that I don't deconstruct my own possibility to deliver on that client.
What do you think drove you to actually accommodate his wishes?
This time he was a friend of my husband's.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, I know he has a tight budget. I want to do this for him. I want to help him, but I can't spend this much amount of hours doing it because it's gonna be too much for me. So we'll do this, and we'll do it in a way that would make me feel good that I could help someone I know, but still get paid, even though it's not the kind of rate that I should have.
Yeah.
So it's a lesson as well, and that even if it's someone you know, make sure that they pay the full amount, because the delivery will be depending on it as well.
That is such a good life lesson. And I think every business owner has made a mistake like this for sure, because this is how we learn. We are guided by our heart, and we
Yes.
want to support and make an impact and help people, and also not say no because we're trying to be accommodating. But the learning obviously is this, that if we do not stand our ground, then we are putting our own delivery at risk. And it seems like that is exactly what happened. And it seems like you've learned it. It probably came at the right time for you anyway.
Yes. It was early on in my business.
Yes.
So I learned a lot, and I actually turned down clients, big companies as well, due to that hard lesson.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to underdeliver or make someone feel that I made the wrong investment, because I know what I can do for you. And if you're not sure, do not invest in that. Then you should invest in something that you believe in. Then you're going to be more satisfied. I don't care which direction you go, as long as you're not satisfied with what I offer, it's not a match, and then we shouldn't work together. So it's about trust, both ways.
I love that. What a wonderful note to finish on. Before we go, can you please let everyone know how to connect with you, the kind of clients you work with, so if people want to get in touch, they can do so?
They can reach me at LinkedIn. My name is Lina Bjernheim-Vedin. I also run Idélaboratoriet. It's a Swedish name, so it might be best that you let them have the LinkedIn way into me. I work with anyone who wants to make a change and grow. It doesn't matter if it's I want to rebrand my company, or I'm new at this, I don't know what I'm doing. If it's about making a mark and make your mark, make sure that you have a really good growth strategy, I'm the one for you.
Amazing. Thank you so much for having this
Thank you.
conversation. And if you're looking to learn more about sales, money, hit subscribe and follow, and then tune in to the next episode where we will be talking about sales. Thank you, Lina.
Thank you.